move any props off to the side and come to kneeling. If you've got sensitive knees, I invite you to grab a blanket or whatever is cushy and nearby. Try to keep that energy of the whole body moving in unison as we start to move a little bit more. You can face me, but I'm going to turn to the side just so it's easier to follow. Keep the feet flat. It's fine if they're dangling off of your blanket. And bring one hand to the low back and one hand just below the belly button. And it's pretty common that we have a little tilt in our pelvis here. Most people's pelvises tilt forward a little bit, but we're all unique. Start to play with dragging the back hand down and letting the front hand lift, and then reversing that. And take your time, but start to notice a place where it feels like the low back gets really spacious. If you overdo it, it actually compresses the front of the lumbar vertebra, so you almost want to feel like nothing in the low back, like you've got little clouds as your vertebra. And when you find a place that feels stable, it actually should take a little bit of deep core engagement to maintain it. So if you feel like, yeah, I'm here and it's effortless, see if you can feel that little brightness up the deep front line, and then maintain it. Place your hands to the front of the hips, and without creasing the hips at all, bend the knees, rocking back. Inhale, float up. Sync this with an exhale to rock back. And take a few on your own, trying to feel that deep, buoyant core that we've been tracing support you from the inside. See if you can keep the superficial muscles relaxed, and that might mean not going as far as you want. Mandy, you're going really far, which maybe you probably can do that in a healthy way, but just make sure you feel like a sense of ease and relaxation. A good way to test it is when you go into that lean back to actually hold it and be like, oh, could I sustain this and feel joyful and relaxed? And then go back up. And then bring the hips to the heels. Give yourself a little break. Relax the arms down, and circle the arms in front of you, letting the body hollow out. Imagining you're like a jellyfish or an octopus, and your tentacles are reaching forward to propel the body the other direction. And then push down into the knees to slowly rise up and allow the arms to reach up. And we'll go right into those rock backs. Yeah, if it's okay, you can keep the arms overhead. If you needed that feedback, you can bring the hands back to the hips. And then we'll repeat. So lower hips to heels, drop the hands, circle the arms forward, and then use an exhale to reach the arms forward and hollow the body so the front edge of the body suctions to meet the back edge. You should feel the back body expand, kind of like a parachute, and then push down into the knees, slowly rolling up on the inhale, getting really light, using your next exhale for the rock back. And then lower the hips to heels, and do this at your own pace. If you get confused with the breaths, it really doesn't matter as long as it feels good. I like the exhale as I reach forward, so I get a little more dramatic with the hollowing of the body. And as you play with these two shapes, see if you can tune in to the center line of the body. That moment where there's a hollowness, and then you take that and you roll up and you feel really expansive and light, supported from the inside out. And the next time you roll up, bring your, I am mirrored. Bring your right hand to, no, your left hand to your left hip, and circle the right arm forward, up, and back. You can let the body rotate a little bit with you, and then we'll reverse that action. So circle the arm back, up, and forward. Bring a little extra awareness to the shoulder blade here. And something kind of fun to feel the shoulder blade is to actually bring your hand to your rib cage. And so as you circle, you have a sense of what the rib cage is doing and what the scapula is doing. And you're not trying to isolate anything. It's fine for the body to rotate. Just try to have that awareness of where the movement is coming from. Some of it's in the scapula, some of it is in the rotation of the rib cage, and then hopefully the support of all of it is from that deeper layer of the core. So there's no gripping and there's just lightness here. And then before we do the other side, bring the hips back down. Take one more of those jellyfish curls and then roll up. Take a rock back, and then from kneeling, right hand comes to the low back, and you can start to circle the left arm up and back, and then tick-tock it back the way it came. So instead of a full circle, it's an arc up and then an arc back. And then you can add on wrapping the right fingertips around the rib cage, just so that you can feel a sense of connection between the arm and the body, maybe even the arm and the deep core. The next time the arm is circling up and back, push down a little extra into the right knee and just notice what happens with the rest of the body. Maybe you can feel those connections in a more tangible way. And then bring the arm back